The following is a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.
Welcome to the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense on the Spartan Media Network.
Throws the home run ball deep. Nick Marsh at the 10-yard line of Maryland. Angles to the right pylon. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Childs takes a shotgun snap. He'll keep it. He has daylight. He's inside the 5. On his feet into the end zone. Touchdown, MSU. Here we go. Back it comes a little bit of a high snap. The kick is up. And it's good. Yeah. Spartans win.
The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartan Athletics. And Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. Now let's join our hosts, Jehuu Caulcrick and the voice of Spartan football, George Blaha.
Hey, welcome everybody to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show. It's presented by Auto Owners Insurance, and we are live, as usual, at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. If you want to join our audience for any of the MSU coaches shows here, make your reservation by emailing coachesshows@onenorthdining.com. I'll get you warmed up for the 109th homecoming here at MSU. And, Coach, it's interesting that UCLA would come in here. You grew up in their backyard, and they're off a resounding upset last weekend at their place, which wasn't all that far from where you grew up, the Rose Bowl.
No, they had a great win playing there in the Rose Bowl back at home in Penn State, and they played really, really well. And so, different day and age, right? Homecoming game, Spartan Stadium. We are definitely excited to get back home in front of Spartan Nation, a noon kickoff, and the homecoming, the pageantry of that, and looking forward to another opportunity to get on the field and play a whole lot better than the last couple of weekends.
Yeah, and I'm excited to be back home, in front of the home crowd like you talked about, because the first 3 weeks, the crowd was absolutely electric. And another positive that the fans are going to be excited for, and I'm sure you guys, this is your first noon game, at Spartan Stadium. So, we'll finish a game, and there'll still be daylight left in the day. So
100%.
Nothing like bright sunshine and homecoming. I know these fans will probably all be there, and we're hoping they are, because there's been a lot of great Spartan support early on in the season, and this is a big game. This is a big game against a team that people now notice.
No question.
And everybody's going to have their eyes on this game. Great opportunity for the Spartans to show the world what they're made out of.
No question. I think the country took notice. Anytime you have a huge, upset, big win like that against a top 10 team, everyone's going to take notice of that, and then they're going to continue to follow them. How do they follow back, the next week? And so it's an opportunity for us, a big stage, homecoming, noon, getting back in front of our crowd. The place will be packed again. Looking forward to that excitement. And this is a new team, and I know we're going to dive into it later here in regards to some changes, right? Their coaching change. It wasn't just the head coach. They got some new coordinators. They got a new lease on life, and they played that way last Saturday. And so this one at noon against a team that's playing with a lot of momentum, we're looking forward to be able to play them back at Spartan Stadium.
I know you were asked at your news conference this week, what about UCLA having to play at 9 a.m. West Coast time? And I loved your answer. You said after that game last week, I know they're excited to play anywhere, anytime, right?
That's right, no question. The way they played, and now they got some momentum and enjoyed playing, because it was a rough start for them. No other way to say it. But the last time out, they played great and with a ton of energy and all that, so they'll be ready to kick off whenever.
Some positives to point to at Nebraska. You're down 14-0 on the road, had a punt block, and that's never good news. And it was a punt block for a score to top it all off. And you fought back to go up 21-14. That's the plus of the game, not to mention the 5 sacks you had. But then later on, Nebraska was just able to score enough to beat you.
Outplayed us in the fourth quarter. And I think you win, lose, yes, there's some emphasis, the things you can grow on or continue to get confidence with. I do think this team tries to know that the game, we want to get on the other side of this, but the game's never out of it, right? We're going to continue to fight and go. We got to play better and outplay people in the fourth, and that's big emphasis because the last 2 weeks on the road, the game was in the balance in the fourth, and we obviously came out on the wrong end. You brought up getting around the quarterback, 5 sacks, tackles for loss was there. In general, I thought the defense, the response from them, their performance against SC is not up to par, and then they come back the next week and they were put in some tough spots. That's a good offense in Nebraska. So overall, defensively, was proud of a lot of the effort.
Yeah, and I'll piggyback off that. I thought the defense played tremendous. I know if you look at just the score and the box score, you're going to see something different. But I thought with the position that the offense put them in, they played very well. And the fact that something that I really liked was the defensive scheme. It seemed like you guys really did take a deep dive in the bye week to do some changes up in the defensive scheme, sending external pressure and getting home with those pressures.
Yeah, I thought out of the bye week, you mentioned it, a couple of the schematics, even just some of the detail of the pass rush, trying to get on an edge of a pass blocker, things like that, because the defense, especially that first half, the field position they were put in, whether we turned it over offensively, they had a huge punt return, which we'll get to special teams, hopefully not for long, but we're going to have to talk about it. Put them in some tough spots, and they bowed up and kept us in the game. 14-7 at half, and we had played so poorly and given them so much. We had one really good long drive offensively. That was anyhow, so you get to halftime, and then really played better football in the third quarter, just did not be able to put it back-to-back third to the fourth.
You were clearly the best team on the field in that third quarter, by far, as a matter of fact. Hey, fans, when you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local teams all the way across the Midwest, from big league stadiums to the neighborhood ball field. Speaking of ball fields, congratulations to the Tigers and all those home runs today in Detroit. Put away the Mariners and set up a Game 5. Learn more at Meijer.com/community. This is the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance, right here on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No, first base!
Go, go, go! Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
Farm Bureau Insurance invites you inside the green for an exclusive dinner with basketball coach Tom Izzo. This unique experience includes a private dinner for one winner and 3 guests with Coach Izzo. The winner also receives a private tour of the Breslin Center, an autographed basketball from Coach, tickets to a future home game, and more. For more details and to register, visit InsideTheGreenSweeps.com. Farm Bureau Insurance, proud sponsor of Michigan State Athletics.
Welcome back to the Coach Jonathan Smith Show. It's presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Hey, Spartan fans, Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. Show up to donate blood to help your school win $1 million for the student or community health department. Score a limited edition Michigan State tee and save lives. Go to big10.org/Abbott to get yourself in the game. Time now to check out our Spartan Player of the Week. And with that announcement, here's Dalton Shetler.
Tonight's Michigan State Player of the Week is number 5, Jordan Hall. The junior linebacker from Fredericksburg, Virginia, led the Spartans in Lincoln with 8 tackles and this interception.
Crayola not feeling a lot of heat this time. Throws over the middle, and it is picked off. Picked off by Jordan Hall. Jordan Hall steps in front of the pass, secures it, and the Spartans will take over.
Jordan Hall leads MSU with 38 tackles on the young season, shares the team lead with 2 sacks, shares the lead now for interceptions and forced fumbles, and Hall is second on the squad with 3.5 tackles for loss. All of that makes your Michigan State Player of the Week, Jordan Hall.
Jordan Hall, 6'3" and 230 from Fredericksburg, Virginia. Quality young man, a quality football player. He was our player of the game, Jehuu. I thought he had a rock-solid game for the defense.
Yeah, he definitely did. And you can tell, when after he was ejected from the USC game, that the drop a little bit, and especially in the communication piece, getting guys lined up. That's somewhere that he really thrives in, and he shows that role there. And and then he's adding to his game by getting an interception.
In the pass coverage, yeah,
exactly. That's something that some people might have said he's not the best in pass coverage, but he showed that he can do it.
Yeah, did a good job on the quarterback's eyes, drop it into space, and makes that huge play. And he makes a difference. I think he definitely had a little added motivation the SC week where he can't play in the second half for a tough call and all that and bounce back. He makes a big difference when he's out there. You talk about the communication, the energy he's playing with, whether he's tackling at the inside backer position, he goes to drop an inside backer against the pass game. So. And he did. He had a really, really impactful game in this last one.
We got some other names for you, folks. The Spartans had 5 sacks, and they spread them around. Jalen Thompson, Alex Van Sumeren, Malik Spencer, David Santiago, and a guy will be with us shortly, Darius Snow. Yep. The defense was fired up and played like it.
Yeah, they did. And even just listing those names, you look at all those guys are playing different positions in regards to, you got a defensive end, you got the rush position, the D tackle, you got a safety going, and the Sam linebacker. And so back to the schematics of pressure, and the quarterback got contributions from all different guys, different angles coming. And some of it was just flat out effort. Because the quarterback held the ball a little bit longer, which we were just kind of talking off air, better in coverage, right? Forcing the quarterback to hold it. Guys were contesting and doing a good job in the pass coverage.
Yeah, and you hit on that, and I think this deserves a bit of a shout out. The first 3 games, one of the biggest knock on the defense was the secondary. The coverage, giving up explosive plays, and the communication issues there. The past 2 games, from the USC game and this past weekend game, the coverage on the secondary has been really well.
It's been better. Yeah, you haven't seen the blatant maybe communication bust, and so the guys run wide open. Not that we haven't given up any yards or anything like that, but these guys are in the spots and they're contesting, playing tighter coverage, putting their hands on the guys at the line of scrimmage, and I think it shows up and affecting the quarterback to hold the ball a little bit longer.
Did that without nickelback Ade Willie and without safety Nikai Martinez. So you showed the depth that you have back there, and the guys who got a chance to play show that they're worth putting on those green jerseys.
I think one of them need to think about Aiden West, because we actually took a couple of starting corner movement, Malcolm Bell inside. He played a little of that nickel on a couple of downs, and so we are getting contributions from other guys that are needing to step up, because you get into that midseason healthy, and not just us across the country. A guy down here or there, you need your depth, and the next guy being ready to go. And Aiden West is one of those that is carrying some load.
Watch for number 2 the rest of his career here. He has a bright future, doesn't he, Coach?
He does, man. Football means a ton to him, the way he practices. Just a true freshman, still learning, but competing out there, and you'll see him again this Saturday.
Let's talk some more defense. 33rd in the FBS in rushing defense, 109.8 yards per game. You've held 4 of your 5 opponents under 100, and Nebraska got a season low 261 yards of total offense. I know their offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson, was complaining about how poorly they played, but you had a lot to do with that.
Yeah, it's always 2-way street, right? And then defensively, they did. And you look at it, stopping the run is almost the first thing on defense. What do you got to get accomplished? And we've done it 4 out of 5. And we've, our number nationally, and again, the stats, they tell the truth, but they don't always tell the whole story. Our number would even be way better, but we got an outlier there when we went to LA.
The fact that people sometimes don't understand not being able to get to the quarterback because the guys are open and they can throw it in a hurry. You guys brought that up, but that's half the battle, isn't it? Defending in the secondary.
And say, because you got to whether that ball's going to come out really quick or he's going to have time to throw it, and obviously the split matters, the talent that you're facing matters, the coverage call matters, where you got help. Sometimes you do got help, sometimes you don't. There's a lot that goes into playing pass defense.
Great young quarterback coming to town on Saturday. His name is Nico Iamaleava, and he was excellent at Tennessee, and he's been the answer so far at UCLA.
Yeah, he had a phenomenal game this last week with his arm and with his legs, and he can beat you both ways. I mean, arm talent, make all the throws, make throws on the move. But when he gets going and running the ball, long strider really fast, make you miss. This isn't one of those runners that goes out as a quarterback and then slides after he gets 5 yards. This guy is ripping off long runs. And he showed the talent. This is an experienced player. I go back to this new life they've got. They had a brand new OC calling plays this last Saturday. So this will be a second game that we're going to see. And so there's some differences in the scheme. And, you'll find out after, second time out there with the new OC, but the quarterback, he played great last Saturday.
The name Neuheisel is a big deal at UCLA. His dad, Rick, played there, coached there. And this is Jerry. Neuheisel. I know there's got to be a lot of emotion when it comes to that young man call the plays.
Yeah, it was fun. And I don't know Jerry deeply. I know him, though, and he's been there at UCLA for a long time, played there, contributed as a position to multiple staffs, Chip Kelly's staff and all of that. And you could just see it. We watched both copies, the coach's copy, but also the TV copy, and the emotion of those players that were playing for him. They're carrying them off at the end of the game. Like I said, they've got some energy, some confidence coming in here after that last Saturday.
When the Spartans walk off there with a W on Saturday, you'll know they've earned it. Let me put it that way. We are live from Lansing with the head coach of the Spartans, Jonathan Smith, and our show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. This is the Jonathan Smith Radio Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Hear that roar? That's the sound of Spartan Nation. And Dean Trailways is right there, every mile of the way. As the official ground transportation provider of Michigan State Athletics, we connect Spartans to championships. For every game, every practice, every victory, we deliver it. Elite service that powers the green and white. When you demand championship-level transportation, Dean Trailways is your winning drive. Become part of our team at DeanTrailways.com.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
We are back live on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance at One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing. And we want to talk about quarterback play, but the Alumni Hall trivia question has something to do with somebody who's been chasing quarterbacks at our place and at the next level. And we want to ask you, which Spartan has the most tackles for loss in Michigan State football history? Who has the most tackles for loss in Michigan State football history? I'll give you some hints later if you're having trouble with this. He's a good player here, and one of those guys who worked his talent up to even higher than probably existed when he got here. But man, what a hard playing guy! He has the most tackles for loss in Michigan State football history. Quarterbacks that try to avoid those tackles for loss, and Aiden Childs had a career high 2 rushing touchdowns, and he made some plays on the ground at Nebraska. He needs to limit the turnovers. We know that. How's he been so far in practice this week, Coach?
Yeah, he went back to work. Just digesting the whole game. I did, some of those plays. I think about some of the fourth down we needed in the third quarter. He came up with and scored on one of them. The turnover piece creeped back in on him in the first half. The wind's a factor. He's trying to underneath, kind of more or less check the ball down. The thing kind of takes off on him a little bit. I think the protection, we need to be better there, and I think that affected him on a couple of snaps that he's got to continue to work through. Right, this is a long game, and not making a bad play kind of worse. But it was proud. He's getting banged up back there, and he's continuing to battle. And then we got some life out of Alessio. Comes in the game first quarter, right? Aiden takes a pretty good hit, needs a breather for a couple of snaps. Alessio comes in and executes, gets us a score. And then that was an important drive for Alessio's confidence toward the end of the game. He comes in, leads us all the way down. I think he was 6 or 7, something to that extent, and gets him a touchdown. Overall, it's kind of what quarterback thing looked like.
He has practiced well, Jehuu. You and I have seen him, and I felt bad for him that a couple of times he got in the games that mistakes happen.
Mm-hmm.
But this showed you why you guys, as coaches, are confident that he can do the job.
Yeah, because you're talking about Alessio there. He had in practice, he can do, and we got a lot of confidence into him. He's had sparing, but a couple appearances that have not gone his way before last Saturday. And so for him to go in and execute, it was good to see kind of from him on the road in those situations.
How about that touchdown drive on 17 plays and 75 yards? It was a thinking man's touchdown
that's a lot
drive.
there. Yeah, we go back to this offensive. A lot of time you want to become explosive at some point, get a 20, 25, 30-yard gain. Well, when you go 17 plays, 75 yards, you're not getting those. But came down to needing to execute for a long period of time. The offense did it, got ourselves in the red zone, which that was, again, small takeaway of positivity. Our red zone offense continues to get some touchdowns. We got to get the thing down there more.
Yeah, and so with that, and you alluded to it, that those big fourth down conversions. One drive, you had 3 of them that you picked up there. And so, what was the confidence? I know in a game like that, I believe at that time there it was either tied or we were down 7. But was it the thought process we're going for this on fourth down because when you're playing away, you want to steal the momentum, and 3 points isn't going to cut it.
Yeah, because of where the separator with 3 points. One, the 3 points is not guaranteed, right? The way the wind was going.
Good
and
call.
Again, in those fourth down balancing act of how long you got to get, is it 4th and 1, is it 4th and 6 where we're at, and then the value of the 3 points if you get it versus the 7. And so we did feel like aggressively pursuing the 7 in those situations, whether you're down, especially getting these games when, a field goal is going to keep it, say, 10-point game, you kick a field goal, it turns into 13. It's still 2 possessions, but now those 2 possessions get you beat, right? 14-13 doing this math. So, if you're up 13 and then it's not the same 4th and 2 where a field goal would add value, turns into a 3-score game, all of that plays into the decisions on fourth down.
Yeah, and and great calls, and really I liked some of the creativity on those fourth downs because for me, being a former running back, it's like one of those line it up and go for it, just go down there. So when you're on there and from players being on the field being competitive, are they in your head saying, "Hey, let's go for it, let's go for it"?
Oftentimes, yeah. The offense, they're ready to go do this thing, and which you appreciate and you love. And sometimes as a coach, you're into that emotion as well. But you got to have a little bit of thought of strategy of what this is, and you digest all 5 games too, because leading into this game, we had one of the best punt units in the country, and so there's value there of punting the ball and what we had been doing. So all of that plays into it, not just the emotion of your guys.
So what does that do for the team? Excuse me, team psyche. I mean, you want your guys to be wired and confident, and when you go for it, more than once on fourth down.
That's really a team conversation too. Through the week, we talked a lot about it during fall camp because offensively, yes, we're going to get it on fourth down, but obviously it's going to affect things for the other side of the ball, and then the defense being a part and being bought in to the idea that as you err on this aggression, once in a while you're not going to get it. Well, the defense is going to have to go line up and bow up, which I thought a lot of times back to the field position, our defense was dealt in the game. They did hold up. I think they started 5 or 6 drives on the Nebraska side of the field. And you're going to give up some points when that happens, but there's plenty of times they held them to a field goal or turned them away.
Yeah, and so when you're making those fourth down decisions, are you – because it's a thought process, third down, 3rd and 4, you telling, hey, Coach Lundgren, you have 2 downs to go for it here.
Yeah.
And then when you went for it on the 3rd time there, like at this point, up in the box, I kind of figured you went for it once, you went for it twice. Why not the 3rd time?
Yeah, there's conversation like that. It still comes down to like what the distance is on 4th, but you give them a heads up on 1st down. Like, hey, this is kind of our thinking, our target. You get it to this distance on 4th, we're going to go do this thing. And then sometimes, you got all 4 downs. We'll be telling them that with the anticipation you're not going to take a huge loss. That can change things on 2nd or 3rd down.
Well, let's see if we can get an answer for our Alumni Hall trivia question. Which Spartan has the most tackles for loss in Michigan State football history? Nice young man at the microphone. Tell us your name and where you're from. And then
Lucas from Lansing. Bubba Messer.
Not true, sir. Sorry, young fella.
Who told you to say that? Yeah, let's not outshame this little kid.
He didn't say Bubba Smith, did he? Jill Witzenberg is a very knowledgeable fan. Let's see where she goes with it.
Kenny Willicott.
You nailed it. Jill, you're such a great fan. Let's hear it for Jill. I'm telling you, she and Gary are so loyal. We love them. Kenny Willicott with 51 tackles for loss. 51. He won the Burlsworth Trophy in 2019. He was named Big Ten Defensive Lineman of the Year in 18. Wore number 48 in his jersey. And he continues to have cups of coffee in the NFL because he has such a high motor, doesn't he?
He definitely does. And this past spring, he played for the Michigan Panthers and had a terrific spring season there, and he went to NFL camp. I believe the Steelers maybe, but a true Spartan, and that was a tough one. I was needed some clues on that one. I wouldn't have got it.
Well, I'm not surprised that Jill got it.
Right.
Starting with the 2025 football season, One North Kitchen and Bar is your game day location for away game watch parties. Join us to watch Spartan football, then listen live to the game day radio hosts as they break down the game. Our Alumni Hall trivia ticket winner, Jill Witzenberg, by the way, does get tickets for homecoming and a gift card for Alumni Hall. And they have great Spartan paraphernalia over there, so you're going to love it. Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. We'll have more from the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance in just a moment. This is the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the Seat View feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics, so crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
Labatt and Game Day, the perfect combo for football, friends, and a little friendly fire.
Nice jersey. Guess they were out of adult sizes.
Labatt is the beer that's there for every good-natured jab, every ridiculous comeback, because with friends, roasting each other is just another way to say,
you're an idiot. but I love you.
Labatt, brewed for the roast. Always enjoy responsibly.
Hey, Spartan fans! It's college football season, and SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of Hail Marys and walk-on heroes. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be part of all the action this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to MSU football games or to any other live event in East Lansing, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official ticket marketplace of MSU football. Let's go Spartans! SeatGeek.
Thank you for joining us for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Time for our player guest, a guy with a famous name and a great game. Our player guest this week, sixth-year graduate senior linebacker Darius Snow. Let's hear it for Darius. Heck of a student, courageous player. 40 career games now for the Spartans. 141 tackles, including a career-high 87 during that magical sophomore season he had in 21. This past game at Nebraska, he stopped a Nebraska fake punt and also had a 6-yard sack. In the classroom, Darius has earned multiple degrees from Michigan State. He's earned academic all Big Ten honors 1, 2, 3, 4 times. Welcome again, Darius Snow. Man, we're lucky to get him up here, weren't we, Coach?
Yeah, no question. Big-time game, big-time guy, to be able to talk all things Spartan football and maybe some other things. Yeah.
Well, before you jump in, I'm glad I'm in the middle here because these two here, Darius is a Phillies fan, Coach is a Dodgers fan, and so that's going on tonight. So
yeah, we were just talking about
that's at what, 10:30?
Yeah, it's late. I told him he's got to get some rest. We got practice tomorrow. Make sure not staying up the whole time.
We'll both be up. Don't worry about it.
So, I mean, you guys are diehards.
Yeah, Philly sports in general. My dad was playing for the Sixers when I was born, so I've always been all Philly sports. We were just talking about it earlier. The thing about Coach Smith. Coach Smith likes to talk after the fact. I talk before, during, and after, so don't worry about him.
Yeah, I was calling games when your dad played.
Awesome.
He was tough as nails.
Yeah.
As you could, and he would have been a good football player. Probably was at sometime in his life.
So he says. I haven't seen the film, but he probably was.
Oh, we can't prove that?
Hey, man. It's like Will Chamberlain. I've never seen the film. We'll see.
When you arrived at Michigan State as an early enrollee in January of 2020, you didn't know how much would be in front of you. Have seen and been through a lot during your college journey. How does it feel to be here right now in your 6th year at MSU?
It feels good. It feels good. I mean, I've been through multiple staffs, but I'm enjoying the staff that we have now. They're doing a great job of building the camaraderie starting in camp, really starting all the way back in the winter, really making it a point of emphasis for the guys to get together, not just on in practices and during the workouts and whatnot, but off the field, out of the building and whatnot, and just building chemistry. And I think we have a lot of guys that are friends, not just in the building, but outside the building, and that's definitely helped us as a team.
Green and white bloodlines with this young man, Jehuu.
Yeah, absolutely.
How does it feel to be officially green and white and now 6 years into it?
Well, I feel old, but it's cool. It's cool. I moved around a lot while growing up because my dad was playing and coaching. So for me to be able to be in the same spot for so long, it's definitely been special.
Yeah, as a former player here, I just want to first of all thank you for everything that you've contributed to Michigan State. When you came in here in 2020, there was a bunch of different stuff, that happened throughout the program and everything. But you were one of the guys that stuck it out the whole way through, and that's what it means to be a true Spartan. And I appreciate that, and I'm sure a lot of Spartan nations appreciate that. But let's jump into.
Yeah, let's hear it for him.
Yeah. So let's jump into the game from last week because one of the big plays there was that 4th down fake punt that Nebraska ran, and you snuffed it out when made the tackle to stop them and have a turnover on downs. Was there something that you saw on film, or is there some formation or something that you saw that put your antennas up?
To be specific, they run all their punts. They motion to what we would call war. So their adjuster will be on our right side, and typically they do it off of a cadence. So they didn't have a cadence. He just kept looking to the field side. One, and on top of that, knowing who they had out there, the guy who had caught the ball there up back was actually one of their starting tight ends. So just being aware of that. And then when they snapped it to him, I was off the ball, so I was able to just overlap and make the play.
Not just smart in the classroom, but on the football field too. That's awesome.
Nice to have guys who can see that and act on it, right,
No
Coach?
question, especially on a special teams play. We're on punt return. Those things happen. Call it 5-6 times only a game, and for him to continue to be locked in like that, not just going out whether we're trying to attack the punt, because I believe in the call you could have been attacking the punt, but the recognition pre-snap and then obviously post-snap to go get it. I guess I'd be curious, just your football career. You played a lot of positions, whether how from the back end, the special teams, playing linebacker now. Any takeaways that make one particular your favorite, or what's your favorite part about playing football?
I think just being able to go out and just play at the end of the day. I've always loved to tackle. I've always loved to be the one that is doing the tackling. That's why I didn't play too much offense.
Yeah.
But like you said, I've been able to play a lot of positions. For me, I've always been trying to put myself in the best position to help the team the best way possible. So whether that's playing free safety, strong safety, nickel, Sam, Mike, Will, the R2, L2 on punt,
punt return,
boundary,
kickoff,
alley on kickoff, whatever it may be, that's just whatever I can do to help the team win. So versatility is big, not just in football, but in anything. So me being able to have it not just helps the team, but it also helps me in my future endeavors.
Before we get to your stellar academic career here, I want to ask you about Joe Rossi, the linebackers coach and defensive coordinator, and the game that the defense had really in Lincoln. You guys played well.
I appreciate that. I said it in the press conference earlier, but unfortunately, we weren't able to get the win. That's obviously the main goal. But we definitely had a better game, a solid game. It's all about execution. We were able to get a few sacks last game. That's all about coverage and rush working together. We had it pretty much on all those plays. The coverage was solid, and the rush lanes were profound, and we were able to get home. So at the end of the day, whether it's getting a sack, tackle for loss, interception like Jordan got, it's just about executing. We were able to execute for the majority of that game. So that's definitely what we're working towards doing again this week.
Is your defense streamlined enough so you're not thinking too much? A guy like you probably is okay with thinking too much with all the experience you have. But some of the younger guys, is it streamlined enough so they don't have to pause too long before they decide what they need to do?
I think that we have a complex defense from a general perspective. But I say it to like pretty much anybody when I'm trying to describe football. If you look at football, not really knowing too much about it, just as a holistic perspective, you'd be like, what's going on? But if you look at it from an individual perspective, you're looking at what the linebacker has to do on this play, in this defense, it simplifies it big time. So I think Coach Rossi does a great job of really explaining, like, if we're in cover 4, what are the checks in cover 4? We're not worried about the checks in cover 3, cover 6. We're not worried about any of that. We're worried about the checks in cover 4. And we're playing that play out, and we're reacting to how that play plays. And just each and every single play has a life of its own, and just approaching the game that way, I think is the best way that he's taught it. How we play it, and it becomes simple. It allows you to just play it, which at the end of the day is what we came here to do.
Multiple degrees for this young man. Can you talk about each of your degrees?
Yes. So I have a bachelor's of fine arts and graphic design, a master's of strategic communication in the Stratcom building. I have a graduate certificate in digital media and media analytics. And the one that I'm getting in December is in journalism, to add on to that. So
yeah, leave the boys after our jobs.
That's varied.
The really cool thing is just sitting here and listening to you talk, and I'm like, God, I graduated sociology. And he's like saying profound, but looking at everyone is just staring and just listening to everything that you're saying. It's really cool, and it says a lot about you. And so let's talk a little bit. You're passionate about graphic design, and you've done a lot of cool stuff, with your design. Your face mask was something that you helped design, and some gear, some like Spartan wear.
Yeah, for some of the I'm sure some people in here were able to go to the fan camp. I was able to make some of the logos for that. There she goes, right there.
Oh, nice.
Some cool Spartan stuff. I didn't make the face mask. That was Riddell that did all that, but it was cool for them to do that.
Right.
But from the graphic design perspective, I was able to help the program out in the past a few times. But at the end of the day, it's all about just learning. I've learned a lot here. I've learned a lot really when I was getting recruited, is when I was really introduced to kind of all the cool things that you can do with Photoshop. And then each and every year, I'm just trying to get better.
Darius, magnificent time here as a student. We're very, very proud of you. Maybe as proud of you off the field as we are on, and we love you on the field. So thanks so much for being here, my man.
Appreciate you. Go get
The Jonathan Smith Show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. We'll have more after a break on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least consulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Spartans, when it's game time, it's One North time. Just minutes from Michigan State University, One North Kitchen and Bar is your go-to spot for scratch cooking and world-class hospitality. When you're celebrating a win or catching up with friends, we've got the perfect dish to make every moment special. Join us for the MSU Coaches Show and get closer to the action with the voices that bring Spartan spirit to life. Visit One North Kitchen and Bar, where Spartan pride meets memorable meals.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Hey, Michigan State Spartans, ready to one-up your rivals off the field? Abbott and the Big Ten are back with the We Give Blood Drive. By showing up to donate blood, you can help your school win $1 million for student or community health, score a limited edition home field designed Michigan State Spartans t-shirt, and most importantly, save lives. Go to bigten.org/Abbott to find a donation location and put Michigan State in the lead.
Auto Owners Insurance presents the Jonathan Smith Show. Every Spartan knows everybody needs a timeout every now and then, so why not take yours at the beach? Myrtle Beach is home to 60 miles of warm, sandy beaches, over 2,000 restaurants, and much more. Enter now for your chance to win your very own beach break getaway, compliments of Visit Myrtle Beach. Go to visitmyrtlebeach.com/MSU to enter. Your ultimate beach break is just a click away. And by the way, we're inviting you to join us for the Michigan Sports Brief every weekday on all of our Spartan Sports Network affiliates, presented by Frankenmuth Insurance. Find a local independent agent near you by visiting www.fmins.com. This series started with 3 Rose Bowl games, with the Spartans and UCLA. Michigan State won the first 3 games, wins in the 54 and 56 Rose Bowl. They lost after the 55 season in the Rose Bowl, kind of a fluke ending. But so there's history here with the Spartans and UCLA. But I want to ask you, Coach, as somebody who grew up near UCLA, what are your memories of what they've done on the football field?
Yeah, they've had good players and good coaches. Obviously playing in a historic place at home with the Rose Bowl that Michigan State's very familiar with. But that's what I think about. They've had good quarterback play back through the years and always had good talent receiver and had some big-time backs, that kind of thing. And so they get proud tradition. And that's why I think really the Big Ten is so cool. And the 4 brands that they brought into the conference have a deep, rich history of similar stuff, of coaches, of wins, of players, of that kind of thing. And this is another proud program in the conference.
And to get them all the way to East Lansing for the first time in forever is a great thing. And they're bringing, obviously, the kid who his last name is Iyamaleava, first name Nico. Big kid, heck of a quarterback. We talked about him earlier. I think obviously your defense has to be most concerned about him, I would
Well,
think.
yeah, it's got to start with him because the quarterback and his ability to run, let alone his throwing talent. But he's throwing it to some good guys. They've got multiple receivers they try to emphasize and get to the ball to. The run game, they play really three backs. One kind of leads the way, but they've got a potent rushing attack, and the rushing attack is complemented by his ability to run because they'll run some zone read where he can pull the ball, he can give the ball, and do those kind of things. So that offensively, it really was running really well this last weekend, but you saw bits and pieces of it in the first few weeks. And then you throw in the dynamic of a new play caller. So we've got one game of a play caller going into the second one, and what kind of differences from week 1 to week 2 for him. We got to be able to be ready to adjust in between series.
Jerry Neuheisel, we talked about his family connection to UCLA. It goes back and back and back, and he's been there coaching the tight ends for all, played there. His dad played there, coached there. So there's a lot of Bruin blood in that family. What do you think it's going to be like for him emotionally, Jehuu? You're a guy who's laced him up and put a helmet on.
Yeah, no, I think it's going to be very emotional for him. And, coming here, having that opportunity again, it's going to be, something that, you can't, describe it as just, you just have to see how it goes, once. But at the end of the day, it's football. Once the whistle blows, you're between those lines, it's football. And but I got to give you some props, George, before we go any further. Like anytime I look at the schedule and I see we're playing like a Oregon, UCLA, USC, and I know all those Polynesian names are coming up. The pronunciation guide, that's why George is the best in the business, because he has to say all those names.
You got to be respectful. You can't just say, I'm going to call him Joe Smith. Everybody's got a name. And I had to figure out Jehuu. Back when he was scoring those 39 touchdowns. I don't want to disrespect you.
I appreciate it, and I'm sure they do. So by the Saturday, I'm just going to call him Nico.
He is rushed for 332 yards. Anthony Woods, 190. Jalen Berger, who was once here, 78. Javion Thomas, 165. So you see, this is the guy who is the main running back as well.
Leading rusher, and the ball's in his hands the most by far. And they spread the wealth a little bit in the running back position, but you got answers up front, schematics of it, like I mentioned, the zone read and all those things. This is a good offense, again, especially going off of last Saturday.
Yeah, so Coach, you talk about that, the zone read, and with a quarterback that's mobile like that, it makes a defense play true 11-on-11 football. How important is it defensively, for guys to read their keys, trust their eyes, and play assignment football with those zone reads, guards pulling and everything? Yeah,
because you got to have the quarterback accounted for. And D. Snow actually just kind of mentioned it. We're a sophisticated overall package, but you come down and simplify the things for the players. And, we're running cover 4. I got this or that. What are the checks for cover 4? And so sometimes a quarterback in a zone read game where you have to have an answer for him, it actually does limit your calls defensively. At least you don't try to do too much, because once someone doesn't have the quarterback or is out of their gap, those turns into huge plays, which we're trying to avoid.
They do have some guys on the defensive side of the ball.
Yep.
One of them played here. Anthony Jones, who leads them in sacks. Big kid from Vegas, 6'3" and 265. And I believe they're lucky to have him, and they got a guy in front of him who even has more sacks, Jacob Busick. So I know you think a lot about their offense, but you've got to deal with their defense as well.
Yeah, they've got some good players there. And that's somewhat new to the D coordinator. It did 2 games. So they got into Northwestern game when they made the change. Northwestern, new defensive coordinator, new head coach. And then they made another change after a week for the offensive coordinator side. So all of that's kind of in play. It's a new day and age, college football, where, you have part of your program and whatnot, and then you're playing against them the next year and things like that. Overall, defensively, the scheme, a little bit more pressure we've noticed over the last couple of weeks, and so that you're aware of some trends. It ain't a brand new defense from week 5 all the way back to week 1, but they got some good players, inside backer leading close to the conference in tackles, and they've got some depth that can challenge you in the secondary.
Well, I know your defense played so well at Nebraska. The offense is going to be geeked to try and match what the defense did last week. And I look for Aiden Charles to have a big game.
Yeah, we're trying to bounce back offensively. We're really trying to make a bounce back on special teams, right? This thing there's 3 phases in it. Defensively, we want to build off of some of that, but come to play on those other two phases, and it takes all three phases to put a complete game together.
Sure.
And looking forward to when we decide to and get that accomplished.
We are live with the head coach of the Spartans, Jonathan Smith. Tonight's show is presented by Auto Owners Insurance. You're listening to the Jonathan Smith Radio Show.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
Need up-to-date information on how to listen to the Spartans? Make sure to follow the Spartan Media Network on social media to see upcoming broadcasts of coaches' shows, ball games, features, and exclusive clips. Check out the Spartan Media Network on X, Facebook, and Instagram, and follow your radio home of the Michigan State Spartans. Go Green!
Spartan fans, choose chill. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. It's got that crisp, refreshing taste that makes these moments when you choose to rise above the noise and choose chill even better. Coors Light is the official beer of Michigan State Athletics. So crack one open and take a sip. Coors Light. Choose chill. Celebrate responsibly. 2025 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Beer.
From the biggest of the big games to the littlest of the little.
There you go. Go!
Run, James!
No. First base.
Go, go, go!
Whenever you shop Meijer, you help support hundreds of local sports teams across the Midwest. From some of the biggest stadiums in the state to the familiar fields down the street. You're helping make a difference to the people and places you call home. Learn more at Meijer.com/community.
We are back with more Spartan football talk on the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Spartan fans, carry the only colors in your wallet with an MSU FCU Visa credit card featuring the iconic Spartan helmet, and earn cash back on every purchase and show your pride with every swipe. Visit msufcu.org today. MSU Federal Credit Union, the official credit union of Spartan Athletics. We're here live from One North Kitchen and Bar in East Lansing for all the Spartan coaches' radio shows. One North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. Final words from Coach Jonathan Smith in just a moment on the Spartan Media Network.
Join me as I take a deep dive into the least insulted ticketing app in history, SeatGeek. Did SeatGeek invent the ticket?
No, but we do make them work.
Drum roll, please. Ooh, how do I use the seat view feature?
It shows seats with a pole blocking the view. Don't buy those.
What if I want to sit behind a pole?
Buy those.
Join me as I bore you to death with a series of interviews about a ticketing app that just does what it's supposed to do.
There's a difference between an answer and a Michigan answer. It starts with our team and people like you. University of Michigan Health Sparrow is hiring for a wide variety of roles at all experience levels. Unlock your potential and discover a fulfilling career at one of our award-winning hospitals and health centers. We make a difference every day, together. Join us at careers.ufmhealthsparrow.org.
Introducing your new Dell PC with the Intel Core Ultra processor. It helps you handle a lot, even when your holiday to-do list gets to be a lot. Like organizing your holiday shopping and searching for great holiday deals and customer questions and customers requesting custom things, plus planning the perfect holiday dinner for vegans, vegetarians, pescatarians, and Uncle Mike's carnivore diet. Luckily, you can get a PC with all-day battery life to help you get it all done. That's the power of a Dell PC with Intel inside, backed by Dell's price match guarantee. Get yours today at Dell.com/deals. Terms and conditions apply. See Dell.com for details.
Hawk's work boots are built from the simple idea that those who feed, build, and fuel the nation shouldn't have to compromise on work boots. Available only at Boot Barn, Hawks constructs high-quality, field-tested work boots that provide unmatched protection and support for workers across all industries. Safety toe boots that are puncture-resistant, slip-resistant, and built with cushioned insoles for all-day comfort. Hawks is built to last. Hawks work boots, only at Boot Barn.
Thank you for joining us and the Spartan fans here at 1 North for the Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Jenny Sargent, who has been a very, very helpful person here at 1 North Kitchen and Bar, is going down to the Jackson 1 North Kitchen and Bar. So we wish her the very best of luck.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I want to talk to both of you guys. You both played this game at a very, very high level. How much does a crowd help you execute better, play harder, and be more pumped? Realistically.
Oh yeah, the crowd's huge. Especially if you're a defensive guy, you really feed off that crowd. You're going up there pumping the crowd up. That's the only reason I would have wanted to play defense, is so I could do that thing there. I tried quieting the crowd one time and I got in trouble for that. But no, it really helps out. And homecoming's great. People coming back. And then from a player standpoint, the really cool thing about homecoming is former players that are coming back to watch you play. That's something that's really cool. Guys that you grew up watching, you have the opportunity to see them.
No question.
What's it do for a quarterback?
Well, yeah, when you're playing at home, you want to be quieted down, but you want to feed off of that momentum. And like Jay's talking about, defensively, but just in general, your home team, your home crowd's into it and going, just like we've experienced the first three home games.
Sure.
Now just doubling down, homecoming, noon kickoff, our crowd into it, quality play, and celebrating all together back at home Saturday afternoon.
Everybody deserves a Spartan win this weekend, and we hope the fans are all out there to help the green and white Gritters get a victory over UCLA. Coach, good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris Ordway is our audio engineer. Matt Contreras Valenzuela, our producer. Gage Dansby's our video stream. And, of course, thanks to Darius Snow for being here. And thank you all for joining us. I'm George Blaha. So long, everybody, and go green.
You've been listening to The Jonathan Smith Show, presented by Auto Owners Insurance. Simple human sense. The Jonathan Smith Show is also brought to you by MSU-FCU. Spartan fans dream big with MSU Federal Credit Union. Meyer, supporting hundreds of sports teams across the Midwest. Coors Light, choose chill. Dean Trailways, the official ground transportation provider of Spartans Athletics, and Michigan's premier motor coach company. Make Dean Trailways your favorite ride. 1 North Kitchen and Bar, making good times great. And Alumni Hall, your ultimate Spartan shopping experience. The Jonathan Smith Show has been a presentation of Playfly Sports in partnership with Michigan State Athletics. All rights reserved. Join us next time on this network station for all the action of Michigan State Spartan football, a presentation of the Spartan Media Network.